Welcome everybody back in the video. Today it is Guild War Day. We don't have that many Guild Wars left. I think we have like less than 10 Guild Wars left until the season is over and the GVG tournament does start. So let's go ahead and lock in. Today we are versus Momoland. PSA, we're over here getting, sending help because of derp, right? You see it right there. Let's get into it. Fighting Momoland. I know Inyur should be in here. I think Bro should be in here. If you don't know who he is, he has like 14 top 3 frames. He's zooming. Bro is good. He just doesn't do RTA, right? So again, we are versus Momoland, and let's go ahead and lock in. For our first hit, we're going to go ahead and hit Valentina. So top team is going to be Genesis, Ras, Mort, and Ilanov. Now we are going to bring in Singelica to basically bait Genesis, Ras, and Ilanov, and then Flan is going to be there for our main DPS, and we do have Lady to Scales just to basically keep Singelica alive and basically just provide support for the entire team. On the net, pretty straightforward, team 1. Now, I thought about just Briar Witch BBK this, but since I don't know if it is a fast Ilanov, I'm just going to go ahead and play it safe, and we're just going to go ahead and run this team, right? Singelica, I did take off her EE because her EE did give her speed, right? You really don't want speed in this situation because, well, you want her to keep her immortality, right? So therefore, might as well just take it off, and obviously Candlestick is going to be best in slots in this situation. So, bottom team is going to be BBK, Tenebria, Lady Scales, Easy, Sage, Vivian, Luna, Cleave, basically, right, if you don't know. Again, many questions about Luna. Hopefully, you did pick yours up. I got many questions asking, is it worth to have a Luna if you don't have fast speed gear? Yes. A lot of the times, in Guild War specifically, even a lot in RTA, there are times where you can use a really slow Luna. Both times, right? Luna is very, very good. She's one of those units where she's very strong, either at slow build or fast build. Especially since, more HP on this character, the harder her S2 is going to hit. And her S2 is only on a 2-turn cooldown. So, and if you pair it with an Edical Scepter, she can pretty much spam this and do a lot of damage. She's really, really good, so hopefully you did pick yours up, right? Fawn Cecilia is just here, just basically because why not? Fawn Cecilia to bait Lady Scales, which is the Mirror Tenebria, and that's really about it. Holy Sec, of course, best in slot when it comes to Guild War purposes. I really want another FCC just in case mine does die. And then Sage Vivian, preferably Lifesteal is better, but my Lifesteal DPS gear really isn't the greatest in terms of DPS, so I've lost a few matches because of that. So I moved over to Destro, and I like it a lot more because it is more DPS compared to my Lifesteal one. So let's go ahead and lock in. Again, top team should be very, very simple. There's no really good way for us to really lose that situation, right? You kill Mort right off the bat, and that's pretty much GG, right? So let's go find out. It is kind of fast. Okay, it is kind of faster team. I am not running a semi-fast Lady of the Scales, right? This is about a 240, I think, Lady of the Scales. So, nice to know. Now, I'm going to pop the, you know what? Do I? Let me see. I'm thinking here. Do I just S1 here? Surely it don't really matter, right? Let's say I want to S1 for the Flan push-up, right? Does it really matter? So I get 25% combat readiness push with this from S1. I mean, that's not really enough to really justify me pushing her up, right? 25%, that's not even enough. I mean, I could just go ahead and proc S3. I might as well. I mean, my Flan is not going to get hit anyways. So let's go ahead and just push up with S3. Give the team abundance, and we kill Mort. And that's pretty much it, right? Should be pretty straightforward here. All right. Yes. Our Lady Scales is potentially going to get feared, or actually more than likely going to get feared by the Mort, but honestly, it doesn't really matter here in this situation, because yet again, I mean, let's be honest here, we have Offering here, and Offering is kind of busted. Alright, Offering is broken. It really is, right? Genesis Ras going to do Genesis Ras things, proc Candlestick, doesn't really matter at this point, right? He can do whatever. And again, don't know, Singelica is like another Bright Witch area, but the good thing is about Singelica is that Singelica only stops the enemy team from reviving. You know how insane that is? That's actually really insane because, again, with the likes of Singelica, you can literally just run like R-rated Villager with Singelica, which is very, very good because guess what? Your team can come back to life, but they cannot. I like that a lot. If they ever make that change for Bright Witch area, that is kind of crazy, right? Let me double check the audio. Okay, just double checking. In this situation, I am tempted just to rip S1 into... let's just go ahead and kill Mort. Let's get rid of Mort. Again, he's literally the only problem here. Genesis, Ras, and all them should die anyways, so yeah. Ilanov does Ilanov things, and we are good to go. Again, straightforward. Their main DPS is gone. Genesis Ras is another DPS, but let's be realistic here. He is going to be hitting into our Singelica, so therefore, it's not really that big of a problem. There's no Lady of Scales here to protect Genesis Ras. So when Genesis Ras dies, he's gone. Bro is done. He ain't coming back. Nothing to worry about in terms of his second life. Right, so let's go ahead and rip S1 here. And Genesis Ras is gone. Very, very clean. Even on Holy Sack, again, this team is very, very safe into this defense, if you are interested. People did ask me, or I got some comments asking about a GVG tier list. I'll be real here. Your mans is not the mans to be asking for a GVG tier list just because I do not do GVG that much. Again, I took the season off this season. I'm only in here for the last 2 weeks. Next season, I may lock in and go do GVG, try hard the entire season. Not too sure yet, but again, I'm not the right person to ask about that because again, I've been out of it this entire season. Last season was different. I was doing it on 3 accounts, 3 high guild wars and all that. But this season, I did take it easy because of last season burnout, and I just want to, again, busy time, right? Anniversary, I do my top 3 arena pushes. There's only so much I can do with my time I do have, right? So I gotta balance it. But since I may not do arena next season, maybe I do guild war, top guild war, GVG, 3 counts like I did before. We'll see, we'll see. Not too sure yet. Wow, that Lady of Scales, I forgot. Not Lady of Scales, that's Tenebria. I always forget you could just stack depots versus her. BBK is gonna do BBK things, doesn't really matter here. Nothing's gonna die. Boom, did 0 damage. Tenebria is gonna go ahead and do her S2. GG easy. GG easy. Again, I do think Tenebria is very, very strong of a unit, but the fact that you can buff stack versus this unit just makes it very, very easy. But that's mainly for Guild War. For arena purposes, it's a little bit harder. I'm saying that already. It is kind of harder when it comes to Guild War because, well, when it comes to arena, it is harder to buff stack versus a Tenebria because you do have to have a certain team to run into said defense, right? So, but Guild War, it is much easier because there's only 3 units. RTA, it's a little bit harder as well, right? Because there are some freaks in the RTA, I'm going to be one of them, touching it very, very soon, that you could run some really omega high effectiveness, and then obviously you could ban units and all that. So again, this unit is very, very strong, I will say, in Arena and RTA, but I don't think she's that strong when it comes to Guild War. But again, who knows, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I never really had an issue with Tenebria inside Guild War. If I had issues with her, it's mainly Arena and RTA purposes, right? But we are very, very done with the first hit. Very simple, very, very clean. Maybe we can cleave in the next fight, right? Surely. Surely. But time for round number 2. Fight number 2, we are going to be fighting Tenebria, Sasuke, and T-Surin. Actually, who would have thought to see T-Surin on defense? We're going to bring in good old Mort, Young Senya, and Rena. Yes, triple Earth into fire. Kind of crazy. Who would have thought? Now we have Renak, because Renak is very, very broken. True damage, 7k. Disgusting, right? Very disgusting. We do have at 319. We do have Young Senya here just because of T-Surin. More than likely, potentially, should survive. And then we do have good old Mort. Of course, why not? Mort does stop counters, and he's going to be very, very good into Setsuka. Because again, if Setsuka can counter, she's never going to be killing Renak, and Renak can lap around, do another S3, and she's just going to die to true damage, right? Bottom team, we do see a Harseti, Lady of Scales, and Genesis Rats. So, bring in Ilanov. Ilanov right now is currently inside of the coin shop. I highly recommend go pick her up. She is absolutely broken when it comes to just anything that has penetration resistance, right? Mine is currently on a DPS build. Really prefer a protection set build, full DPS, full HP and all that build. I really like that a lot better, but mine is currently on a Destro set. It shouldn't really matter in the situation because Genesis Ras is really here, and he's like the only DPS here. We do have Aram because, again, every time you see Arceti, typically you want to bring Aram. And then Bystander Wanyang, I did change her a little bit. I did give her a HP necklace, but overall just going to be the build for her because, again, she is very, very strong, and she does ignore Lady of the Scales 70% offering, Right? If you don't know that, Bystander Hua Young's stunts have risen up so much because all the light units coming out, and her being immune to debuffs, and her having ignore damage reduction and damage share. Very, very strong unit. Love her a lot. So let's go ahead and lock in Shirley. And I mean Shirley. We don't mess this up. Right? Right? There are times I've messed it up before, but Shirley, this is not one of them. So, in this situation, I'm just going to go ahead and rip. Ooh, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter here. Can I just go ahead and rip S2 into the... I mean, do I really care if T-Surin takes a turn? Can I not just go, you know what? Honestly, let's just kill Tenebria, because realistically, I'm pretty confident she's the only problem here. I mean, honestly, I could go ahead and S2 the T-Surin and all that, lower her HP. I could do that. But honestly, do we not just want her to do this? Because it's going to proc our young Senya anyways. It's going to proc this. We get the extra turn. We can rip S3. And we get extra free damage from this. Like, I would think this is a much better play. That's done. We go ahead and rip S3 on our good old girl young Senya. And other than that, very, very clean. Round number 1. I do like, though, I will say, though, I do like that we are seeing some T-Surin return. It has been quite some time since we've seen her inside of GVG defense. There is a time where a fast T-Surin, especially on Secret Art Swordstorm, was the meta. Because, again, this unit, his debuffs are pretty strong, right? Silence, unbuffable. Who doesn't really like those debuffs, right? Those are really, really good. As she strips. Does she strip? I'm pretty sure she strips. Let me check. Can we check here? Do you strip? Pretty sure you do strip. Yeah, she does strip as well. So again, back then, she was very, very good. Unironically, a very, very good bait GVG defense. Again, it's nice to see her return, though. I do wish, though, that they kind of increase the strips. Maybe 2 strips. Because let's be realistic here, 1 buff. That's not really that much. But clean round number 1. Now, round number 2, surely. I mean, Genesis Rat should not be able to kill us, right? If I'm being honest here. I mean, that'd be kind of crazy, right? We have penetration resistance. We have a lot of HP on our Bystander Hua Young. So, surely we're good. Oh, and I do see that it is going to be Lady of the Scales in the front. Honestly, is it bad I'm tempted just to push up Genesis Rast now? No, my Bystander Hua Young now? And just pop them? Is it that bad I want to do that? Nah, surely we're fine. Surely we're fine. I'm just going to hold the S3. Because I would rather double S3 on my Bystander Hua Young instead of just ripping it right now and potentially killing them. But let's go ahead and do this. He's going to rip S3 and should be fine. 26k HP. Can we kill that? I would think we could potentially kill that. Alright, so we go ahead and rip S3 here. We are going to be ripping this on the Genesis Rast. I might as well do some injury on him. It's not really that big of an issue, right? There is offering here, though, so we're not going to be doing that much damage. But anything counts, right? Injury counts as well, so we might as well go ahead and do it. But that is very, very clean. We are done. Latest kill does that. And honestly, Bystander Hua Young, I'm pretty sure this kills. Unless my Bystander Hua Young is dog water, but potentially she is. Because I did give her HP ring now instead of an attack one. So surely we're fine. Hey, good enough. It doesn't matter. She's broken. She's very, very good. Again, I never use this unit in terms of offense. So again, it feels very, very nice to actually use her for once. Finally, right? I'm able to use this character for once. I'm going to go ahead and rush. Do I dare chance a stun here on the good old girl Harsetti? I could. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this because I do want to try to get rid of Harsetti. Right, if we could get rid of her, that'll be nice. Because, again, she is mainly the only DPS here. And we should be perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and pop Soul Burn this on this as well. Because, again, we don't really need Soul Burn into later scales. Let's be honest here, we really don't need it. So we do this, do as much damage as we potentially do. I mean, that is very, very good damage. Nothing to really complain about. Let's go ahead and S1 the Harsetti. Alright. That does that. Later scales. Harsetti goes. 2k damage. She is doing some good chunk of damage. I will say that for sure. Our Illinov potentially. She may potentially die here. Surely it's not that big of an issue. Let's go ahead and rip S1. We do proc Lady of Scales offering, which is very, very nice. Fine by me. We got the CR push from that. Alright, so we go ahead and rip S1 here. We do get rid of her. Again, we are going to lose Ilanov, but honestly, it is what it is. Bystander Hwa-Young and Aram, though, should be able to just close this out, and we are pretty much done. Right? Very, very simple. Very, very straightforward. I really doubt Harsetti can win from this angle. If she does, I'll be very, very surprised. But again, we also have a son on our S1 from Aram, and we do have some effectiveness on her, and we do have her Sober, which is 100% chance, so really nothing to worry about. But we do lose Ilanov, but it is what it is. I don't really use this unit that much anyways to begin with, but a very, very clean second hit. Now on to hit number 3. And the last and final hit, we're going to go ahead and hit the last fort. Again, all we do is hit forts, right? Normally, if I do record early, most of the time I am recording myself hitting strongholds. Well, not really strongholds, but the mini forts, right? So let's get into it. Top 10, we do see Harsetti, Bazarunga, and Setsuka. We're going to go ahead and bring our young Senya, Mort, and Bystander Hwa-Young. She's again making another return in this hit. Team number 2, we do see Elative Scales, BBK, Fire Ida. Now we're going to bring in good old girl Luna, Ruel with her brand new EE, and Genesis Raz. This is going to be our slow Luna, right? This is not going to be the fast one. Slow Luna is preferably better when it comes to GVG. Ruel is just typical Ruel build. Actually, mine's not the typical. I don't know if this is typical or not. I have not touched this Ruel build in ages. But this is currently my Ruel build, right? Again, her EE is kind of broken. Disgusting EE, right, for this character. I did low roll, but it is what it is. And then our good old boy, Genesis Raz, which honestly I thought about keeping Symbol of Unity, but I would like the solos, but does it really matter if I have Soul Burn or not here? I don't think so, but I'm just going to leave that on. I might as well get the extra solos, right? Who knows? Who knows? But other than that, that looks pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and lock in. Surely, we should be fine. This top team is what I'm worried about. Because what if your mans misses with Bystander Hwa-Young S3 on Bazarunga? What happens? Do I just lose? That was what I was worried about. So I was debating about throwing like Symbol Unity on our Bystander Hwa-Young. So hopefully we're good. Hopefully, right? I'm a bit nervous. I'm already scared already going into this. So hopefully we're set. Let's go ahead and rip S3 on Mort. You might as well. Right? Might as well rip this, because if we can hit Harsetti, we're doing some good chunks of damage. We didn't hit her. It is what it is. We are going to go ahead. Can we hit the Bazarunga? Surely we could hit. Surely. Right? Surely my RNG is good. Alright, we're good. Now it's Setsuka, Harsetti versus the world. And honestly, I think we should be perfectly fine, because there is no... there's literally no lative scales here. So our damage is just going to be full force. Yeah, Harsetti's going to do Harsetti things. But honestly, are we that worried about Harsetti? Are we really that worried about her? She did do some good damage there. But I mean, Setsuka's never going to hit our Bystander Hwa-Young. Right? Right, surely. Right? Even on the counter. Even though she should never counter. Let's go ahead and rip S1 here. I might as well. Because I'd rather push up Mort as well. Even more. Right? So, go ahead and hit Harsetti again, and she should be good. Alright, very, very clean round number 1. Again, a little bit spooky, because I am worried if the Bystander Hwa-Young does miss on the Bazarunga, do I just straight up lose in this situation? But again, who knows? Who knows? I would not know until I missed. Alright, we'll find out next Guild War. If I do see that defense, come again. Otherwise, I thought about running Symbol Unity, but I'm like, do I really need the lifesteal? Do I really need to? Let's go ahead and pop this. I might as well Soul Burn here, because honestly, do I have any other thing else to Soul Burn? I could Soul Burn Young Senya, but honestly, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, and we did hit clean. Very, very clean. But hey, Bystander Hwa-Young again, use it offense. Again, I don't ever use this unit. This is actually the first time I've actually used her in offense. But team number 2, Festival Ida, is going to do Festival Ida things. But honestly, she's not going to be doing anything here, because we have Genesis Raz, who is immune to debuffs. We have Luna, who has her own skill note. On top of that, she does have her own buffs on top of that. So, I mean, is there anything here to be worried about? In this situation, I'm tempted to just, you know what? Let's just go ahead and rip S2 on Ruel. I don't want to S1 here, because let's say I S1 hypothetically, and if I S1 and I weaken the BBK is going to cut in front of my Genesis Raz. I don't want to see that. We don't want to see that happen, right? So therefore, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and rip S2 on the Festival Eater. Soul Burn, right? Now, this should do enough damage to go ahead and kill the BBK. Ooh, it did not do enough damage to kill the BBK. Uh-oh, did I just mess up now? Whoa, did your man's mess up? But BBK should technically die to this anyways, hopefully. Right, surely, probably not, because offering, she did die. But hey, we did seal the Festival Eater. It is what it is. It's perfectly fine anyways, right? So, very, very clean. And other than that, this hit is pretty much over. And we did 6-0 redemption from the last Guild War, which I did mess up because your man's threw by not hitting the BBK. I could have threw in this match as well, but hey, it did not matter whatsoever because how Lady of Scales offering does work when she does get hit by AoE, and it does go ahead and kill the front units, right? But let's go ahead and S1 the Festival Eater, and she's pretty much gone. But other than that, hey, hopefully everyone has Genesis Raz by now because he makes Guild War extremely easy. Really, he makes your life so much easier when it comes to Guild War. Like, it's actually kind of crazy, right? He can't be debuffed. He has CO on his S2. His S3 does some crazy damage. Like, he's so good. Super good. So, again, hopefully everyone has him by now. Or unless you're almost there, again, he is worth it. He's definitely worth the wait. But again, other than that, very, very clean. 6-0, right? We only hit Fortress here at this point. Well, mini fort at this point, because again, these are little mini fortresses, and this is the main fort. But other than that, though, thank you for watching the video. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you guys later on. Peace out.